Hello there, my name is Tobal. Welcome back to the Guild 3. It's been a couple of weeks since we've last touched the game, and there have been quite a few patches and updates. So we're going to hop back in and see what this game in early access has for us. If you're unfamiliar with the Guild 3, it is a medieval life and trading simulation as per the developers. So for our starting city, why don't we go with something like Augsburg? We tried out Warsaw before. Let's go with Augsburg. We're going to change the years per round down to 1, and we're going to keep it on Poor Fellow, which is kind of the lowest setting you can start the game with. The character, though, if you can tell, I found like a combination of facial features that seems like exactly like the Hound. Maybe he just retired from the service of the Lannisters, you know, before, maybe this is pre-Joffrey in a different timeline. He decided to go ahead and become a mercenary for hire. So we're going to play as Sandor Clegane with the Clegane dynasty. I'm super excited to hopefully find someone that Sandor can fall in love with. But we're going to bump his stats in a very Sandor-like manner. Okay, maybe he might have 1 or 2 points of charisma. He has his moments, right? Or we could say it's like the D&D charisma. He's a little bit intimidating, right? So we're going to start out as the rogue. We're going to be able to have a little camp here. I can't remember, a robber's camp, I think, or robber's hut. Welcome to Augsburg. Here we are, outside of the gate, inside of the village of, is this Leckhausen? All right, Leckhausen it is. There is another village across the way, it seems like. So only 2 villages in this entire map. Okay, so it's a pretty small map. Most of the action seems to be happening inside of town. By the way, if you're unfamiliar, you can find out where the villages and whatnot are by looking at the legend. I don't think there's any other way to find that out. But you'll have to look for the symbol at the very bottom where it kind of says the farm versus the castle building. So we can see when you zoom out, you'll get a color of the area, and it'll kind of give you the zone of where that city is. And you can hold that space bar and find out, oh, all the roads here are considered to be inside of the village. Right. So we are... I lost my boy. There we go.
Bruises everywhere from this constant.
So we've got, skill tree-wise, we start out under the rogue with the robber camp. And we know how to do the jugglery act and the ambush, or how to do ambushing and how to juggle. We are, in fact, a visionary. So there are a couple routes we could go down. So there's 2 main trees. Once you start going down rogue, you can either go the mercenary tree and get a mercenary quarters, or you can go down the smuggler's hideout. Both of these, I believe, you can build inside of the city proper. Normally, whenever you do a first level of any skill tree, you have to build outside in the village. So we don't have anything yet. We could, if we wanted to, go into a different route. Like, we could immediately go into, say, the food prep tree and do something like that. But what I want to do is we're going to start out with our robber camp. Now, I guess we should first look and see where would be the most lucrative place to put a robber camp. The reason I'm going to use the robber camp I'm going to use it for a different method than normal, just doing ambushing. We're actually going to try to do some juggling rather. And so what that does is it improves your relationship with the different towns that you're going to be in. So we're going to join or add the top fellows here, and we'll try to put it right along, somewhere right along here. I want to make sure it's close to the inside of the city, because I think our characters will, when you give them the permanent job, they're going to run inside the city every so often too. Looks like there actually is somebody else ambushing, by the way. There's another group, Kunaberth here, is doing his own ambushing. So there must be another... What would that be called? The robber camp, right? Where's that other robber's camp at? There it is. So there's a robber's camp out in the city as well. So we have a bit of competition. I suppose I should have looked. Does the other city, the other village here, on the other side of the river also have a robber's camp? Because if not, we might want to... No, there actually is. So we're going to have competition no matter what we do, truly. But we are going to send Sandor actually to the market first. We are going to use him to do a bit of ambushing, because his strength is through the roof. So what I want to do is, before we get too much into the business itself, I'm going to have Sandor go to the market, pick up some weapons and some armor. So we're going to get something hopefully intimidating and strong enough to defeat some city guards. So Sandor, go ahead and strip down and sell your stuff. We're going to give you... Handgun seems useful, right? Let's grab a handgun. This is purchased at 250, so we got enough money for that. Uno handgun, please, and we'll put that into his hand slot, I think, right? So we're still able to get a weapon slot. Let's go ahead and give him a longsword. 144. Longsword has 5 attack power, 65 damage. 365, 440. Yeah, so I think the longsword is one of the better weapons to have right out of the gate. So we'll buy the longsword. We're going to buy him also a set of armor. We'll give him some chainmail to feel nice and safe and look super spoopy. And right, there we go. Sandor is now 10% more scary than he was a few minutes ago. You gotta lay off the muffins, man. It's okay, though. We won't judge. So, let's get Sandor over by the business. In the robber camp itself, I'm gonna start hiring some employees. We've got 500 gold, so I can buy quite a few. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up everyone to go juggling, because juggling, when you start to juggle, you get a flat 10 gold. I think no matter where you go, you get flat 10 gold. And when you're done, you get some relationship improvements. And you'll start to see this under the relationship of our dynasty with all of these other towns and whatnot. And I believe the higher your population, number one, the less likely people will be to report you for crimes. Number two, the better, it's either better prices or people will come to your store to actually buy your goods later on. And so what I was hoping to do with the Sandor here is start out as a rogue, and we're going to dip a bit into a different path. We're going to go either into handicraft, herbalism, or food prep, depending on what the competition is like in and outside of the town. So that's my hope and my plan. Well, first off, I need to see where the guards are. Okay, that's the guard symbol. So let's go ahead and set Sandor up. We're going to micro Sandor for a little bit. I'm going to put him right inside the gate. So he's grabbing these juicy people as they come in and out of the city. And if there are any guards nearby, I'll try to just make him cancel the job and go somewhere else. So we're going to use him for robbing, and if we make enough money, I might open up a couple more employee slots through the upgrade here. The add-on thing, we can add 2 more employees to this building, and we might have them go join Sandor in some of the robbery goodness. But I want to have enough money from them to buy, you know, better equipment. So here you can see right there, the population, or the what would you call that, reputation increase. So we're going to be getting a little bit of reputation. Hopefully our people will start kind of going into the town here, whatever the purple sector is. I don't know if it's like South Augsburg or what, but that part of town is going to start liking us a bit more too. So down the road, maybe, if we are able to manage it, we might be able to put our building here, whatever building we wind up going on, and we'll be able to get a bit better relation. Hey, we robbed somebody. We robbed somebody there. I think we got some jasmine in our inventory too, didn't we? Yeah, so if people are transporting items from point A to point B, you will steal whatever they're carrying at the same time, which is kind of cool. Now, obviously, it would be very lucrative to set up where there are trade routes like this guy right here. He's taking something from the butcher out of the area to the store, to the market. So do we have... Someone who'd make more is going to be the craftsman hut, right? What about just inside the city walls? Do we have somebody maybe like a carpenter? What I would love to do is set up right outside of a carpenter shop and grab them as they're bringing their goods to market. Carpentry, or something like a metalsmith. There we go. Here's a blacksmith. There's a blacksmith just outside of the market, but I think they have to go down here. Okay, here's what we'll do. Let's bring Sandor inside the city.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set him up at this intersection because this should grab both the stone cuttery and the blacksmith. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to micro Sandor for just a little bit. Now, we're going to be a little careful of the guards, because as the guards see you doing things, I believe they automatically turn you in and report you, so you get some evidence against you. And I'm expecting Sandor to get arrested and sent to either prison or get a fine pretty early on. There's a lot of plates breaking. But yeah, the game now also switches time over. Ooh.
Cool.
I didn't quite mean to set up ambush right in his face. The funny part is that ambushes are legal in Augsburg. So actually hiding and ambushing someone apparently is somehow legal, but robbing them afterwards is illegal. I have no idea how that works out, but it's so bizarre. We'll wait for these guys to push past. So while we are waiting, let's take a look at what has changed in the last couple of patches. A big one for this screen, for the Dynasty screen, is you're now able to see the leaders of the opposing dynasties and their heir. The guild, I believe, is pretty much the same. You're able to see what other people think of the guild and what other guilds think of that guild. And then finally, the city records has been much improved. You're able to see any places that have an opening. You'll see this feather here, and I believe the number next to it tells you how many people in your family are able to apply for this position. And if we try to apply, it'll actually tell us, hey, you don't have enough X, Y, or Z to apply for this office. So we're able to get a lot more information than we used to, which is very, very helpful. There are a lot of guards here. I don't think we're going to be able to pull this off. I was hoping we could do it, but I don't believe it's going to happen. What about other areas of the city? Are there any lovely, juicy merchants who are just waiting to be lifted of their payload? Long distance trade route might be something interesting, but I don't know how many people trade at the trade route itself. God, there's like 4 guards on this one road. All right, let's go ahead and post up again outside the city. We'll go for smaller thefts right away. We're already up to 776. Have we made a decent money from just juggling? Apparently juggling is the way to go. God, there's a lot of competition here. Who is this? Wilhelmine? So there is one robber camp here, another robber camp down the road, and another robber camp right here. Good night. Anyone living in the city is going to get robbed blind, apparently. So what I need to do in order to switch my profession is have enough money, number 1, to go into a new tree. That's 1,000 gold. Number 2, you can only have one business at a time until you upgrade to another title. So when we go from serf to commoner, we're going to be able to own and operate one more business. So we'll have to have a total of 2,500 gold just for the titles and the skill. And then we'll have to have probably another 1,000 or so to get that first building. So it's going to be a little bit of micromanagement early game. I'm going to do a lot of that off camera, so you don't have to wait for me to sit here and rob every single person who comes through the gate. And maybe we'll try to find Sandor a little bit of love at some point in the near future. Let's upgrade and grab 2 new worker slots, and I'm going to hire a couple new folks here. And what I'm going to do is actually kind of equip them a little bit. So we're going to take both Helga and Ulrich and send them over to market.
What shall we do now?
Oh, you are a handsome lad, Ulrich. You're going to be my champion of freedom.
Have you something to offer?
Sandor's just over here knocking everyone down by the main gate. Good job, buddy. You're doing real great. Arya would be so proud of you right now. I have seen someone take out like the same passerby like 3 or 4 times. So Barbara, you may want to leave. It's going to get pretty rough for you if you stay in this area. It looks like he knocked her out and then she ran away. Fair enough. Whatever works for you, man. I like to micro this a little bit more because if you give them... Oh, there we go. Actually, we've got a bunch of evidence coming up. Trial is scheduled for Sandor Clegane. Steal from a character and attack someone. So, yep, right away we already have stuff going to trial next year. Now, as far as I know, we're not going to have, you know, like the death penalty yet. Although I don't even know, is that in the game right now? Under city laws, I see a lot of like the bad things that people can do. I don't know about punishment. Can you change the punishment laws when you're in the government? And what I'll do is, my goal is to like go all the way up the office tree and change things like, you know, is murder legal and things like that. So we're able to change like poison well and eliminate someone and kill. So that would be kind of fun. Fun, air quotes. Right, so our 2 new people are at the market, I think. Let's go ahead and get them equipped. Okay, both Ulrich and Helga now have some weapons and armor. I didn't buy them a pistol mostly because it was so expensive. So let's give them the legal ambushes job.
That could work.
And they're going to go from place to place, just doing ambushing. Now, if they happen to get anything from someone, we're going to... Why are you orange, out of curiosity? Are you like a super tough dude or what? Patrol. Interesting. I'm kind of curious. I've never seen the orange highlight on someone. But yeah, they're going to go from place to place and just try to keep doing the ambush job. Now, if they are able to ambush somebody and get their goods, like one of the transporters here, they'll go and return those items back to the city. Right, and we've been doing this for a minute, so let's take a look at our relations too. Yeah, as you can see right now, our popularity has gone up a lot in the Noble Quarter and Leckhausen here, because we've had having our people do their juggling activities and whatnot in both. So my theory is that, and part of the reason I'm doing this build like this, is I want to kind of use that ability to improve our popularity and see if it makes people want to buy more of our stuff when we eventually have some kind of a business. So here's a message about that reputation. The reputation status of your dynasty with the people of Noble Quarter in Augsburg is now friendly. This will affect the motivation of your employees and businesses located in Noble Quarter. If that's the only thing that this affects, then it might not be as strong as I was thinking. I was hoping that it might also affect, you know, how many people either bought your items or how much they paid. But either way, maybe it, you know, we make our workers work faster and we're going to be making more money overall. Sandor is like super wrecking these guys right now at this corner, so I'm going to leave him here. And I'll continue to micro him just a wee bit. We might try to have him go look for love later on in this episode. So we could start out the first episode with a first business, Sandor trying to look for love, and making enough money, maybe to get our title up or something like that. We were like wrecking these transporters, but they don't seem to have anything.
Yes.
That, you know, that might actually be a different character thing, or a different ability that you might have, like waylay or something. Let's go to the rogue tree and take a look. No different ability here. Pickpocketing, break into a building, eliminate someone, kidnap a character. Okay, so I don't see anything about like waylaying a target. I thought that might have been where you completely loot everything they own, but apparently that might just be ambush. But it seems like whoever I'm ambushing right now doesn't seem to have anything, or the chance is too low. But like, see if we get either of these two guys here. Get him, Sandor, get him! Right, so we get the experience right away, and then he goes over to loot him, and he normally gets an 85 gold no matter what, but there's a chance, I guess, of items, not necessarily a guarantee. But either way, it's a pretty steady increase. I might go ahead and assign, well, we got our other two people doing this, right? Yeah, these other two folks are doing it. Let's have Sandor do a little bit of looking for some love, right? We're going to go into social activities. Maybe we can marry into money if we can't necessarily find it by normal. Right, so nowadays, if you click on people in the list, you're going to see a percentage of what your... I think it's... Is it your best stat versus their best stat, or is it always charisma versus their intelligence? Like, are you trying to bluff them, and they're trying to find out if they can be deceived or not? So a couple of people, I guess this is an 80% chance overall to woo them or start the relationship. This person is level 4. Can I just look again in the world and see anyone who is an eligible bachelorette? So no green people running around here. There we go. There's a couple down the road. So we've got 3 here. The 67%, 73, 62. I'd love to get somebody who has a title, like who's in the government themselves. Here we go. Let's try. She's 42. Maybe someone who's a little bit younger. 67 and 24. Here we go. Frauke? Is it Frauke? I'm going to go with Frauke, probably. It's a little bit more Germanic sounding in my head. So, Clegane is going to go chase him down and try to woo her with whatever charms he possesses. Maybe it might just be threats. I don't really know how the Hound approaches love. He looks ready for love, though. Look at that. With his gun out, his little backpack on. He just looks like he's about to go have a party today. Are you going to hold your gun out the entire time? Well, good night. No wonder they're so scared of you. Don't point your gun at people. All right, so he failed there, and he actually got a wound. I don't think you can... Can you actually do any more looking for love if you're wounded? That's great. Poor the Hound. The Hound is just in rough shape, man. His heart is broken. His emotions are shattered. Let's try to pick from the world again. More people coming right at us. All we need is one. We just need one. Xenia here.
What is it?
You're a 17% chance, or you're 17 years old, and you have a pretty decent chance to be wooed by our ways and apparently our pistol. Hooray! We've successfully started a courtship with this person. Now we can just do things like, you know, tell them that they're pretty. It's the equivalent of the Guild 3 equivalent of The Sims, where you're able to just hug them repeatedly until marriage. Or it's going to fail every so often. Nice. Alright, so a couple of hugs and kisses later, we're already at a really good rate. Can we marry her already? We might actually be able to do this. All we've done is compliment this person and give them a kiss. Here we go, let's see. Come on, buddy, you've got this. Oh no! She broke his heart and his charisma. And possibly their relationship, or are they still together? Apparently they're still together. This is great. Can we embark on a liaison? No, I think what we want to do is embark on a romance or liaison. What does this one do? I think the liaison is something a little bit different. Let's try this out. I don't know what this does. Are you guys like going to a party? In the Guild 2, there was an option to basically take someone out to like an inn or a tavern or a bath or something. There we go. We've got someone in love with us, I think. We're going to have to wait, though, on the marriage. But I think... Wait, what the heck happened? No, I hit the wrong button there. Are we full up? Yeah, I think we're full up. So we'll wait for her or that to reset. And Sandor is going to try his hand at love one more time. One more update in the game recently has been when you click on whatever building you're interested in looking at that you own, you're able to see which employees have a level up ready. So it's a little bit easier now to go through and kind of just pick whichever ones you want. All these folks, I think, are they all juggling? No, these are all jugglers. So I'm going to do, I guess, charisma. I would assume that's what's part of doing the juggling action. I have no idea. We could test this one day and try to see how much they're doing per juggle, if you will. And the other folks, I'm assuming that we're going to want strength, the ones that we're actually having rob other people. Also, if we upgrade the performance here, the productivity, will they get a little bit better at what they're doing? Storage slots, fire protection, building security, things like that. I think that's good. So if they do, let's go find one of our people here. Where are you guys at? Actually, where are they at? What's our symbol? Little gold. There we go. Well, that's Sandor right here. Where did all our people go? Oh, they're actually all over town. Holy cow. You're like way deep in town right now. So you're still getting 10 gold. But maybe you got a little bit extra? I don't remember them seeing extra gold. It was 10 normally, but the 5 was a bit more. So maybe that's either due to their skill or the more productivity upgrade. All right, we should be able to attempt romance again here soon. Our person that we're in a relationship with is super excited about us. Of course, why not? Why would you not want to be in love with such a handsome, devilish fellow? Look at that. He's even got his own kitty. I mean, how could you go wrong? Oh, he's a beaut. Look at that beard. Like, what? What has he got on the beard? What happened? Did you... Okay, whatever, man. Spiked beards are all the rage. You guys don't even know. Augsburg, spiked beards. Sandor was the one who started that trend. Keep it in mind. So before we end this episode, I'm going to go ahead and go over to claim my commoner title. This is going to let me drive my workers, distract a guard, and donate to the church. And more importantly, we're going to be able to own one more business. This is kind of cool. You get a little pop-up now when you're able to level up. So very helpful. And eventually, we'll be able to go down to the next tree. And I have to figure out what we're going to be doing. Do we want to do... Ooh, here we go. Are we going to be able to do, you know, which of the different trees? So, we are now in a trial. The crime of attacking someone with a fine of $11. Okay, is this, just one person? So there's no other people in here. So it's going from fining... So the city, I think this is the opinion, yeah, this is the opinion of the population in the city. This is why I think the population opinion thing is so very important. Okay, so he basically publicly shamed us. So we lost a bit of trial. Uh-oh, we have another trial. The expected punishment is public shaming again, although it seems like because of our relationship, it's going a little bit higher. We might be able to get released completely. I tried this before. I was like clicking madly like it was some kind of competition. This is kind of cool, to be honest with you. Which city was this? I can't even tell. Steal from a character... But it seems like we're in pretty good shape. Just 2 trials that shamed us a little bit. Can we tell of our overall reputation? Oh, it's just this one right here, right? Is it influence? Reputation minus 19. I think that's the reputation. I don't really know, to be honest with you. But hey, that was a little bit better than going to jail. So, the theory of maybe bumping up that all of your reputation might be a really good idea. As you can, oh wow, some of the other areas really don't like us right now. The surrounding region here, the castle town itself. So what I'm going to do down the road is keep having more robber camps with more people doing nothing but juggling to try to get that reputation as high as humanly possible so that eventually, if we continue our life of crime, people will be more willing to forgive us because we just juggle so damn well. And you just can't beat that. So before we leave, let's see if Sandor can once again try for love, try for marriage, and bring a new friend into our family. That pickup line was brilliant. Yay, hooray! Oh, it's a beautiful wedding. It's not quite the red wedding, but we're now one with the altar. And all of our friends here who we've probably stolen from.
Continue to be shining examples.
Well, thank you so much for joining me for this episode, and if you do like the content on this channel, we do have more videos like this over on the main page, so feel free to subscribe and take a look. If you'd like to support this channel, there's a Patreon below in the more information area as well, and our Discord link if you'd like an invite to join a wonderful, wonderful community. Thank you guys so much. My name has been Tobal. You've been awesome. Sandor has been a beautiful, beautiful, spiky, bearded bastard. I look forward to seeing you again next episode. Until then, my friends, take care.